since the last video did incredibly good about JoJo characters versus Dragon Ball characters, I might as well just make another one. One review versus Goku isn't close. This video was actually requested by somebody in the comment section, but he deleted the comment. I mean, I desperately tried to find him. I even sent a search and rescue team, but I mean, whatever, I guess. If you're watching this video, you know who you are, so alright, let's get back into it. This video will be in collaboration with my friend again, Tamaki, and despite popular beliefs, he is not suicidal and nobody's got a gun to his head. I guess he just naturally sounds like that. And because 7 restraining orders is not enough to keep him away from me, I might as well put his Dragon Ball knowledge to good use. Alright, let's get back to the video. Despite what the narrative tends to send in both the YouTube and TikTok, One Review is not really that strong. Although his ability is kind of broken, there's a lot of context to the ability itself that people are leaving out. For instance, the rules of Calamity are simple. The main action of attempting to pursue him is what causes the activation of the ability itself. So to get the thing out of the way, Calamity itself is essentially just misfortune. They established that the laws of misfortune exist everywhere inside of the universe itself, but what One Review is Tor's stand ability to be able to direct the flow of misfortune to something else. It's just a glorified funny Valentine ability if you think about it. Kind of how Valentine is able to direct the misfortune away from himself to somewhere else, Tor is able to control it and manipulate it to his own will. Tor basically has aimbot. Anyone with the intention of pursuing him, attacking him, or even have the intention of harm gets targeted by the ability itself. Araki do tend to forget a lot about this situation though, the rules that he has established early on throughout the jojolion universe. Because despite the fact that Nijimura K didn't have the intention of harming One Review, her stand is an automatic stand that essentially just goes to attack wherever she does or has had contact with earlier. We also know that One Review is not completely aware of his own ability because he consistently just asserts that the act of pursuing him is certain to become a severe disaster that is sent back to the attacker. Despite him making these assertions, he's always flabbergasted by the fact that someone or something is able to harm him, which is a direct contradiction to everything he's ever asserted. He also asserts that to overcome that and to reach him is not possible at all. But we know that there's some weaknesses to the ability itself, like allowing him to pursue you instead of you pursuing him. We also know that Jobin's mom is able to completely harm him despite not having the intention of harming him. By throwing her cards at him, she's able to crush his body between those cards despite not having the intention of harming him. Essentially just hiding him is what she makes the assertion with. Basically, if you're able to instinctively react without you making the intention of harm, like MUI is, you should logically be able to fight One Review and kill him without the laws of Calamity being triggered. Because MUI is an action, not a thought or a plan, so you should be more than capable of fighting One Review without it be actually planning on doing it. Because Ultra Instinct is the act without the need for conscious thoughts, he should be able to overcome the rules of the Calamity itself that has been set inside of the universe or the restrictions of the ability. Just to recap from earlier, having the intent to pursue him is the activation of the law or the ability itself. Having the intention to harm him is also the activation of itself. But we know that the activation itself isn't instant because they're able to have an entire dialogue while they're actively pursuing him, and it gets activated directly after. We also know that it's not instant because Kay is able to fully walk inside of the room after Bondisue has already harmed him. She then later gets stabbed. It'd be logical to assume that the ability itself is restricted to Toru's speed because asserting that it's faster is a no limits fallacy. It's an illogical assertion to make. So I'm not disagreeing with the notion itself of One Review being passive. I'm disagreeing with the fact that the activation is instant. Because as I've shown with actual evidence, the activation itself, or rather the effect, takes time. We also know that you don't need to negate the natural law of the universe itself to stop One Review from pursuing you. It was made by Yashu that if you kill Toru and the stand itself, then the misfortunes will just stop pursuing you. We know this is the case too because the head doctor is pure energy of Calamity itself. He's not the universal law. He was a curse set on the family and he was pursuing them right after. It's described that a natural law of Calamity, even without a user to control it, will the head doctor still not disappear. The Calamity is still going. They later established that the laws of Calamity are a thing that exists in the universe, and One Review was just the ability that allowed Tor to use it for his own needs. Kind of how there's time and there's the concept of time. You can manipulate the time of the universe itself, but you're not manipulating the very idea of time. Toru's stand, or rather the head doctor itself, is just the personification of calamity. He is not calamity itself. So being able to nullify calamity energy itself is kind of what you need to just win the fight. And since Dragon Ball characters are able to nullify just flat out energy by just being stronger, if you can prove that Goku is just stronger than one of you, then it's kind of one-sided. There is also the Hakai, which is able to completely existence erase anything that isn't immortal. Anything and any being that isn't godlike immortal. For speed and strength, I mean, Part 7 and Part 8 characters are consistently just shot by bullets or just ran over by normal motorcycles. So I wouldn't even make the assertion that they're fast. I don't even think that nobody in Part 7 or 8 can break the speed of sound barriers. So, I mean, yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm just going to leave the Dragon Ball scaling to Tamaki now. So, peace.
Hey guys, it's me Tamaki here. Thank you again for having me on the channel again. And once again, like last time, I'll be handling the Goku session portion of this video. Starting off with how good Goku is in the battle, we know he's stated to be the greatest martial artist on Earth, so he's better than any martial artist that the planet has ever seen or have. We know Goku during the Battle of Gods arc, he fought Beerus and they're going to destroy the entire macrocosm, which was stated is going to be completely destroyed and nothing left in the universe, made into a vacuum of space of nothingness. We know the universe is infinite in size, an endless expansive universe has wrapped around every celestial body. There's innumerable stars, innumerable nebula, and innumerable galaxies that exist within the living universe alone. Along with this, there's also heaven and hell. Heaven is stated to be the same size as the universe in 2 scans, which is one in Zazenchu 7, page 36, and the other one stated by Bulma and Videl. And heaven is also directly the same size as the universe, same as the way hell is also the same size as the living universe, which states in Zazenchu as well. Now that we know that each 3 portions of the entire universe is all infinite in size and all relative to each other in size, that would mean destroying this would be a low multiversal feat. Now talking about speed alone, we know that Goku is able to fight Majin Buu, and Buu's going to destroy the entire living universe, which we guys already went over, is infinite in size. Even though Majin Buu is going to destroy the living universe in 2,000 years, which is a very long time, it would still come out to infinite speed as he's traversing an infinite distance in a finite amount of time, which would upscale Goku to infinite speed as well. Another speed feat Goku has is also infinite speed. Goku and Piccon flew from heaven all the way down to hell, which means they had to cross 3 infinite sized distance structures, right? They went from heaven to the living world all the way down to hell, which would put Goku very high into the infinite speed tiering. As well in Dragon Ball Super alone, which is after Z by the way, for people who don't know. In the Tournament Power arc, Jiren is stated to transcend time itself by 2 very credible sources. The first source is Videl that says Jiren possesses power that transcends time itself. And another one by Universe 7, Kao Shin. He says even time itself means nothing against Jiren's strength. So both scans and both people are saying that Jiren transcends time itself, therefore his speed should be immeasurable speed. Jiren as well, in the same fight where he fights Hit, where these statements come from, the title episode is called an extra dimensional ultimate battle, which includes that these characters are higher dimensional beings, which also further supports that Jiren transcends time itself too. And we obviously know that Goku fights Jiren and he's stronger than him as now currently, which is much later on in the arcs. Now onto some abilities Goku has that I think will help him in the battle is that we know an Ultra Instinct, which Goku has in base form now, mind you. He is able to move without thinking or without intention at all. So when he fights people, he doesn't have the intention of hurting them or going after them. His body just passively automatically moves to the best possible strikes and punches them. Goku passively also has a passive ki barrier, which goes around, which protects him, right, from ki and spiritual attacks as well, because that's what ki is made of. And now, since earlier we already went over that Goku is stronger than Jiren, that same Jiren whose ki barrier alone was able to block Goku's Kami attack from even touching him from his ki pressure alone. Along with this, Goku is able to sense movement in the airwaves itself and the air currents, where he knows exactly where you're going to do and hit him, so he's able to avoid every attack that comes his way. This level of precognitions actually works so well for Goku that he could even use it in the dark where he can't see anything at all and still knows exactly what his opponent is doing to him. Along with these abilities, we know that Goku has Hakai, as he could raise people like Zamasu in the Goku Black arc with the manga. And Goku has Kami waves or Kamehameha waves, however in the way you want to pronounce it, which are able to destroy people's atoms and attack them on atomic level, which is stated twice. All of this means that if Goku was going to go against an opponent, he's able to erase them from existence to the point they can't come back in spiritually as well. Also, he could just shoot a Kamehameha wave at them, which erases their atoms and they're no longer existent too. We also know Goku has power node as well in the verse, which is shown during the Buu arc 2, where if you're stronger than someone to a very vast degree, their powers won't work on you, which is shown in the Buu arc once again. Like I said before, Vegeta turned into a candy ball and was able to act normally and still fight as a candy ball. So with this being the case, the opponent that Goku is fighting will have to be on relative scale to Goku's AP and speed, so they wouldn't get power node and their abilities would be able to work. If not, Nothing they have will work on Goku, on top of Goku beating them up, speed blessing them on top of everything. Which would conclude my portion of the Goku scaling the video and what we went over, which is that Goku is at least low multiversal with immeasurable speed to infinite speed at least from Z arc alone. Is able to fight without thinking. He has a passive barrier around him at all times, right where you need to be relative to him to even get through. First of all, to even hurt Goku, and then to hurt Goku, you have to be on par with him as well. This same barrier, in fact, is able to protect you from spiritual attacks as well in the verse, which is what Ki is made of, and they protect at the time, which is shown when he tanks a Kamehameha. And that Goku's battle Q is very high as he's the greatest martial artist on Earth too. Along with one of his most important hacks in this video, in my opinion, is that his power null. If you're not strong enough to be with Goku or swing around Goku in terms of attack potency or anything like that, nothing abilities will work on him. We'd rather be reality warping, soul manip, law manip, anything. If you're not up to Goku in AP, nothing will work on him. And now I'll conclude my portion of the scaling after going over the overview of what I went through so far.
That's pretty much it for the conclusion itself. As you saw, Goku is simply too strong, too fast for one review's ability effect to handle, and his mere Ki is able to power null, along with the Hakai itself, which is able to completely existence erase any creature that isn't immortal. And as I brought up earlier, one review is just the ability that allowed Tor to manipulate the calamities itself. He's able to manipulate the bad energy inside of the universe and direct it to one opponent. But if Tor is not there to control it, then the calamities themselves will just stop. So that's pretty much it. If you disagree with the conclusion here, you can join the Discord in the bio and we can just talk about it. Peace.